Lewis Hamilton did not do well in Barcelona. In what was supposed to be a positive step forward for Ferrari, the 7-time world champion described his race as the worst I've ever experienced. Hamilton's displeasure was evident as he dealt with pit stop troubles, intra-team compromises, and an off-balance car, whilst his teammate was able to get a podium. This weekend was about more than just one disastrous race. It was about the trend emerging throughout Ferrari's season and Hamilton's role in it. Is this a one-off? Are there larger concerns at play? Or is Ferrari showing us they have a clear favourite? The Ferrari driver struggled in Barcelona, finishing 7th on the road before a post-race penalty moved him up to 6th. The 7-time world champion was in a dismal mood, having finished 2 places lower than he had begun before gaining a position post-race, thanks to Max Verstappen's 10-second penalty. Despite a strong start where Hamilton claimed 4th from George Russell at turn 1, but fought for pace until the end. On lap 10, Ferrari urged him to allow his faster teammate Charles Leclerc to pass, and Hamilton slid to 7th place behind both Mercedes cars during the pit stop cycle. Hamilton finally recaptured 6th place after Andrea Kimi Antonelli retired late, but he sank to 7th as Sauber's Nico Hülkenberg passed him along the start-finish straight on the penultimate lap. Hamilton was thus in no mood to speak afterwards and delivered a very brief interview in the media pen, which went as follows. Tricky afternoon for you, and then you got stuck on used tyres at the end. I guess you were a bit of a sitting duck there. A bit frustrating, wasn't it? Hamilton. Everyone was on the same tyres. Where was the pace, though? You were talking about no rear grip from fairly early on, and that was the whole story, was it? It naturally is. I don't think you were able to keep the gap. Does the car feel better at any stage of the race, or is it just the others? I have no idea why you'd say that. Not one single clue, with all your experience. It's the worst race I've experienced. Any positives you can extract for the weekend? So what's the plan between now and Canada? What are you going to look at? Work on with the team? Simulate it? I'm going on it. So where do you go from here? Home. Leclerc, who started 6th, was in a better mood after stealing a podium late on by passing Verstappen at the lap 61 safety car restart. It means Leclerc has won consecutive podium finishes after finishing 2nd in Monaco last weekend, but he says his 3rd in Barcelona is more pleasing because it came as a surprise. It's not like I'm over the moon for a 2nd or 3rd place, said Leclerc, who is 5th in the championship, and 23 points ahead of 6th placed Hamilton. But it still feels good, because coming to the weekend, I did not expect that. In Monaco, the disappointment was big, because in FP1, FP2, FP3, we were very strong. It was not the case here, so we weren't strong in FP1, FP2, FP3, or qualifying. But I knew I had sacrificed quality yesterday in order to be strong in the race today, and it seems to pay off with a little bit of luck as well, giving us the podium. So on that, it's a good surprise. And I'm very happy about our weekend, but I'm not happy about our overall performance, and on that, we need to do a step soon. Hamilton pledged aggression after qualifying 5th. Early signals were encouraging, but the race gradually soured. The negative Sunday was then completed with a nearly 5-second pit stop, which hampered Russell's pursuit after he had stopped a few laps earlier, and the entry of the safety car, which put Hamilton in the sights of Nico Hülkenberg, with the German completing an unpredictable overtaking before the end, thanks to the new soft fitted during the neutralization, which was more competitive than the one used by the Ferrari driver. Speaking about his Spanish GP, Hamilton admitted that nothing went as he expected after qualifying. Today's race was definitely far from what I was hoping for. I was confident before the race, after a good qualifying and with the car that seemed to be improving in performance. In the race, however, the balance was not what I wanted, and we lacked pace from the start. At the moment, we don't have an explanation. We will have to analyze the data and understand if there was some kind of problem. At the end of the Grand Prix, Hamilton also mentioned on the radio that something was amiss with his SF25, and team principal Fred Vasseur spoke about unspecified problems with the number 44 car. Lewis had a good pace until the last stint, where he had balance problems. He had a problem with the car. I won't say what the problem was. The Hamilton that appeared before the microphones after the race was not the same as the one saw 24 hours before. The 7-time world champion appeared disconsolate. I have no idea why, not a single clue. It just wasn't a good day. The strategy was good. The team did a great job. That's it. I had a really bad day, and I have nothing to say. It was a difficult day. A terrible day. There's no point in explaining it. I just don't know what to say. When asked if Ferrari would be able to remedy the difficulties, Hamilton ended the interview with a despondent response that accurately reflects his mood. I'm sure they won't be able to. Probably the answer is that it's just me. While Leclerc's third-place finish kept Ferrari's spirits up, Hamilton's performance raised more concerns than it answered. The Barcelona Grand Prix for Ferrari concludes with a podium finish for Charles Leclerc and a P7 for Lewis Hamilton. But the most significant fact is that the Scuderia returns to second place in the Constructors' World Championship. In the end, victory was never in the cards given McLaren's pace, which was only hampered by the Red Bull strategy, which was then disrupted by the safety car's late exit. Everyone came in to install a set of softs at the finish, but Max Verstappen, who had already done an extra stop, only had the hard compound available. It's difficult to explain why the pace was better with the soft than the medium. It was a more consistent compound. Without the safety car, we would have been fourth, but we took advantage of it. Overall, it was a good comeback by Charles, even if we expected something better from the mediums, declared Frederic Vasseur. In Lewis Hamilton's race, he was also passed in the latter stages by Nico Hülkenberg, who took advantage of a newer mix than those around him. Lewis had a good pace in the race, he was better than Russell, but in the last stint, he had some problems with the balance. Maybe there was something wrong with the race, because the balance was not a problem in the other stints. He still brought home good points, but in the end, it was difficult for him to hold the position. The 7-time world champion's effort also helped him reclaim second place in the Constructors' Championship, despite the troubles of Kimi Antonelli and Yuki Tsunoda, who both scored 0 points for Mercedes and Red Bull. It was a good trio of races for us. We made a good recovery if we think back to Miami. Qualifying in Imola was disastrous, but in the race we had a great pace. Monaco went well, and so we could have been third in qualifying, but we made strategic choices that in the end I don't know if it was good or not, but in the end we got on the podium. However, it is not the time to sit down, also because the road to better results is still long. There is a lot to do. We just have to think about doing better next time, like we did last year. There are 15 races left. McLaren is far away, but we have to try to recover and continue this growth trend, concluded Vasseur. Hamilton's disappointment speaks volumes, not just about a terrible day, but about a car that may be fooling its drivers. With Leclerc grabbing podiums and Hamilton dealing with invisible troubles, Ferrari's season is teetering between two pathways. Will the team capitalize on their achievements and rise? Or will internal doubt prevent them from catching McLaren? What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below.